Welcome back to Robots vs. Vampires.
The show where robots and vampires collide.
You got it.
I like it.
I'm Adrian Smith.
And I'm Julia Jones.
And we are so glad you're here with us.
For another deep dive.
Into the world of the strange.
And supernatural.
Now,
nay.
we bring you a brand new story.
So if you enjoy these wild rides through the unknown, be sure to hit that rate button and follow the show.
So you never miss an episode.
That's right.
Now today,
we're
diving into a story about a seemingly average teenager named Mia. But her life takes a very sharp turn when she stumbles into the wrong alley. In the murder district.
The murder district.
You know.
Not a good place to be.
That part of town where even the robots think twice about venturing.
Right?
And it's there that she has a run-in with a vampire that changes everything.
Classic.
It really is.
I mean.
Setting us up with those familiar vampire tropes.
Right. The dark alley.
Mm-hmm.
The mysterious attacker.
You know, but then.
It takes some unexpected turns.
It does.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, so Mia goes through this pretty agonizing transformation.
I bet.
You know, she experiences the heightened senses.
Oh, yeah.
The overwhelming thirst.
All the classics.
All that classic vampire stuff.
Sure.
But instead of being kind of thrown to the wolves.
Right.
Or rather to the humans.
To the humans.
She's given synthetic blood.
What?
What's up with that?
That's so interesting. Like, that's not something you typically see.
Right.
In a vampire story. Is this a new breed of vampire?
Are
they adapting to modern ethical concerns?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it's a way for them to maintain control.
Ooh.
You know?
Keep their existence hidden.
Keep it all under wraps.
Right. From the human world.
Exactly.
So Mia is dealing with this whole new world that's been thrust upon her.
Right.
This unwanted transformation.
Sure.
And to make matters even more complicated, she's caught in the middle of this vampire power struggle.
Oh, boy.
Between Damien,
the
one who turned her, and this shadowy group called the Archivists.
The Archivists.
So if we try to look at the bigger picture here.
Yeah, let's do that.
It seems like Mia is more than just collateral damage.
I was just thinking that Damien reveals that the Archivists were specifically targeting her.
Right.
Which begs the question,
what makes Mia so special?
What is it about her?
And why would Damien turn her if he knew she was in danger?
That doesn't make sense.
Like he's playing with fire.
It is.
And Mia's the kindling.
Yeah.
He dangles this possibility of a cure in front of her.
Ooh.
But is he being truthful?
Right.
Or is he just using her to get what he wants?
Big questions.
Huge.
So, their search for answers leads them to the Archivists' hidden lair.
Okay.
These creepy catacombs filled with ancient scrolls, blood rituals, enough dust to make you sneeze for a week.
I'm already sneezing the catacombs themselves are creepy enough.
Oh, yeah.
But what I find fascinating is the contrast between these ancient rituals and the modern twist of Mia's synthetic blood.
Right.
It's like the story is blurring the lines.
It is.
Between tradition and modernity.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder
what
the rules really are.
What are the rules?
In this world.
Exactly.
And amidst all this, they uncover a prophecy.
Ooh.
Centered around Mia.
Of course.
It's hinted that her connection to this prophecy runs deeper than anyone could have imagined.
I bet.
And there's this mysterious pendant.
Okay.
Her mother used to wear.
Interesting.
That seems to be a key piece of the puzzle.
Her mother.
Yeah, her mother. Are we talking about a family legacy of vampire hunters?
Ooh.
Or something even weirder?
Right.
What's the deal with this pendant?
Was her mom involved in all of this somehow?
Right. Was she involved?
So many questions.
Really?
As they delve deeper into the catacombs,
yeah,
they run straight into the Archivists.
Of course they do.
Of course.
And of course, this isn't a friendly book club meeting.
No.
It's a full-on
vampire brawl.
Vampire brawl.
Yes.
But here's the amazing thing.
What's that?
Mia.
Yeah.
This newbie vampire. She doesn't just cower in the corner.
No.
She fights back.
Good for her.
With a ferocity that takes everyone by surprise.
Wow.
It's more than just fighting back.
Yeah, it is.
There's this raw power that emerges. Something that even Damien, with all his experience, can't quite explain.
Right.
And then there's that pivotal moment when one of the Archivists tries to stake her.
Oh, no.
And, well,
What happened?
let's just say it doesn't go as planned.
It doesn't.
No.
What happened?
Instead of crumbling into dust, she's the one who breaks the stake.
Who breaks the stake?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mia's blood reacts in a way that defies everything we thought we knew.
Everything we thought we knew.
About vampires.
Wow.
And their supposed weaknesses.
So she's like this walking paradox.
Yeah.
A vampire who doesn't play by the rules.
Right.
What do you make of that?
Well, it throws the whole prophecy into question.
It does.
If the stake,
right,
this ancient symbol of vampire vulnerability, has no power over her,
yeah,
then what does that mean for the established order?
I don't know.
Right?
And what does it mean for Mia?
It's clear she's not just a victim in all of this.
No.
She's a potential game changer.
She is.
Her very existence disrupts the foundation of the vampire world.
It really does.
And it seems like everyone, even Damien, is scrambling to figure out what her role in this prophecy truly is.
Like she's this wild card.
She is a wild card.
Yeah.
And it raises a really important question.
What's that?
Is she a force for good?
Okay.
A harbinger of chaos?
Oh.
Or something else entirely?
Or something we haven't even thought of yet.
Right.
Yeah.
We're left wondering.
We are.
Is Mia's defiance a sign of something extraordinary? Or is it a dangerous anomaly that could unravel the delicate balance between humans and vampires?
Ooh, good question.
And how does Damien react to all of this?
Yeah, how does he?
I mean, he's the one who brought her into this world.
He did.
Offered her a glimmer of hope for a cure.
Yeah.
And now he's seeing her exhibit powers that he might not even understand.
He might not.
Is he threatened?
Okay.
Intrigued? Or maybe a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Damien's reaction is complex. Initially, he saw Mia as a means to an end, someone who could help him decipher the prophecy, and perhaps in doing so, find a way to break free from his own vampiric existence. But as Mia fights, as her defiance and power become evident, something shifts within him. He sees her strength, her refusal to be controlled, as something to be admired.
Interesting.
Not feared.
Not feared.
It's like he's seeing a younger version of himself in her. A reminder of the rebellious spirit he may have lost over the centuries. Perhaps. But whatever his reasons, Damien's perspective on Mia is changing.
It is.
He's starting to see her not just as a pawn in his game, but as a force to be reckoned with.
Okay.
A potential ally.
Interesting.
In a world where the lines between good and evil, human and monster, are becoming increasingly blurred.
I like that.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Blurred line.
Blurred line.
That's a good place to leave it for now.
It is.
We'll pick up Mia's story in part 2.
Can't wait.
So we left off with this intense vampire showdown raging in the catacombs.
It's fascinating to see how Mia, despite being newly turned, exhibits this raw power that even Damien doesn't seem to fully grasp.
It's like she's tapping into a primal energy source. One that challenges the very definition of what it means to be a vampire.
Remember, we've already seen her blood react in an unexpected way to this stake.
Exactly.
It's like she's rewriting the rules of the vampire world just by existing.
That's what makes this story so captivating.
It is.
It's not just about vampires and prophecies. It's about challenging our assumptions. And exploring what happens when someone breaks free from the constraints of tradition.
I like that.
But let's get back to the action.
Okay.
What happens next in this underground battle?
The fight continues.
Okay.
And it's clear that the archivists are not backing down.
They're not.
They're fanatics.
No.
Utterly convinced that Mia's existence threatens the very foundation of their ancient order. They view her as an abomination. A disruption to the balance they've sworn to protect.
And Mia, she's fighting back.
She is.
With a fierceness that's both surprising and inspiring.
It's pretty amazing to see.
It is.
It's like she's channeling all of her anger, her fear, and her determination into this primal force that even the archivists can't fully comprehend.
It's like she's not just reacting.
No.
She's taking charge.
She is
becoming the architect of her own destiny.
I love that.
And in the midst of this chaotic battle, there's this incredibly symbolic moment where Mia sees a carving on the archivist's altar.
A carving? What is it?
It's a stylized heart with a stake driven through it.
Oh, wow.
And it triggers a powerful memory.
A memory.
She recognizes the symbol from her mother's pendant.
Oh.
The one that was ripped from her neck during the initial attack.
Right.
It's a chilling reminder of her lost past.
It is.
And a clue that perhaps her mother was more intertwined with this hidden world than Mia ever realized.
So this connection to her mother adds another layer of complexity to the story.
Absolutely.
It raises questions about family legacies, hidden truths, and the sacrifices parents make to protect their children.
It makes you wonder, what did Mia's mother know about this world?
Right.
Was she trying to protect Mia from it? Or prepare her for it?
We're left to speculate.
We are.
But it's clear that this revelation fuels Mia's fight even further.
It does.
She's not just battling for survival.
No.
She's fighting for answers, for a connection to her past.
Right.
And for the right to determine her own future.
It's like this symbol.
Yeah.
This shared mark between her and her mother.
Right.
Becomes a catalyst for her transformation.
I see that.
She's no longer just a pawn in this vampire power struggle.
No.
She's a descendant.
Okay.
An inheritor of some ancient lineage. And that realization seems to unlock something deep within her.
And as she pieces together the fragments of her past, her anger intensifies. She realizes that the archivists weren't just after any random teenager.
They weren't.
They were targeting her specifically because of her bloodline, her connection to this prophecy, and whatever secrets her mother protected.
So she's not just fighting for herself.
No.
She's fighting for her mother's legacy.
Right.
For the truth that's been hidden from her for far too long.
That's got to be a powerful motivator.
Oh, it is?
And it's in that moment, fueled by this righteous fury and a newfound sense of purpose, that Mia's powers truly surge. She fights with a ferocity that's almost primal.
Wow.
And the archivists, with all their ancient rituals and weaponry, find themselves struggling to contain her.
It's like she's become a force of nature.
She has.
A whirlwind of untamed power that's tearing through the very fabric of their carefully constructed world.
Right.
The tables have turned.
They have.
And the hunted has become the hunter.
Precisely.
And what's even more striking is that it's not just brute force. There's a strategy to her movements.
I was just thinking that.
An instinctive understanding of how to use her newfound abilities to her advantage.
Right.
She's not just reacting, she's thinking, adapting, and evolving in the heat of battle.
It's almost as if she's intuitively tapping into some ancient knowledge.
Right.
Some ancestral memory that's guiding her actions.
It's both exhilarating and terrifying to witness.
I bet it is.
But how does Damien react to all of this?
Yeah.
He's the one who turned her.
He did.
Offered her a possible escape from this world.
Right.
Now he's witnessing a power that he may not fully comprehend.
Damien's reaction is a mixture of awe and apprehension.
Okay.
Initially, he saw Mia as a tool, a key to unlocking the secrets of the prophecy, and potentially finding a way to reverse his own vampiric state.
Right.
But now he's witnessing something that goes beyond his calculations.
Is it fear? Or maybe respect?
Ooh.
Does he see Mia as a threat or as a potential ally in a world that's rapidly changing around them?
I think it's a complex mix of emotions.
Okay.
He recognizes the raw power that Mia embodies, and he's drawn to her rebellious spirit, her refusal to conform to the expectations of the vampire world.
So he sees a reflection of himself in her.
Maybe.
The vampire he once was before centuries of power struggles.
Yeah.
And ancient prophecies weighed him down.
Perhaps.
But whatever his motivations,
right,
Damien's perspective on Mia is shifting.
It seems like it is.
He's starting to see her as more than just a pawn in his game.
Right.
He's seeing her potential, her capacity for change, and her ability to challenge the very foundations of their existence.
It's almost as if Mia's emergence has awakened something within him.
Right.
A spark of hope, perhaps, or a renewed sense of purpose.
But the question remains, what will he do with this newfound awareness?
Right.
Will he embrace Mia's potential, or will he try to control it? To mold it, to fit his own agenda.
That's the intrigue, isn't it?
It is.
We're left with this sense of anticipation, wondering what choices Damien will make, how his relationship with Mia will evolve, and what impact their combined power will have on the vampire world.
And what about the archivists?
Oh, yeah. What about them?
They've clearly underestimated Mia.
They have.
Are they willing to adapt their strategy?
Yeah.
Or are they too entrenched in their ancient beliefs to acknowledge the shifting tides?
That's a question that hangs in the air.
It does.
A thread of suspense that weaves through the story.
It really does.
Will the archivists cling to their rigid traditions? Or will they be forced to confront the reality that the world they thought they knew is no longer what it seems?
It's clear that Mia has disrupted the balance of power.
She has.
And the consequences of her emergence are only beginning to unfold.
Yeah.
The vampire world is on the brink of change.
It is.
And the choices that Mia, Damien, and the archivists make will determine the fate of their kind.
That's a lot of pressure.
It is.
On everybody's shoulders.
But before we delve into the potential ramifications of this power struggle, let's take a closer look at Mia's journey.
Right.
What does her transformation reveal about the nature of power itself? And how does her experience challenge our preconceived notions about good and evil?
Right.
Monster and hero.
That's a fascinating line of inquiry.
It is.
Mia's transformation isn't just about physical changes.
Right.
It's about a fundamental shift in her perception of self, her relationship to the world, and her understanding of the forces that shape her destiny. She's forced to confront the darkness within herself, to grapple with the monstrous aspects of her nature, and to ultimately make a choice about how she will wield her newfound power.
And it's in that choice, that moment of decision, that the true essence of her character is revealed.
It is.
Is she a victim of circumstance?
Okay.
Or is she a master of her own fate?
I like that.
So we're left with this tantalizing cliffhanger.
I know, right?
Mia's unleashed her power.
Yes.
The archivists are reeling.
Totally.
And Damien's staring down a future he probably didn't anticipate.
I don't think anybody anticipated this.
So what happens next?
Yeah.
Does she become this rogue vampire tearing down the old order?
Ew.
Or does she try to find her place in this world that suddenly feels both familiar and alien?
That's the beauty of this story.
I know.
It doesn't hand us a neat resolution.
It really doesn't.
It leaves us pondering the possibilities.
It does.
Mia's at a crossroads. And her choices will have ripple effects throughout the entire vampire world.
So let's break down those choices.
Okay.
What are her options?
Well, one path is embracing the monster within.
Okay.
She could harness her raw power, become a force to be reckoned with, and potentially reshape the vampire world in her image.
The ultimate power move. Overthrow the old guard and establish a new order.
Exactly.
But there's another more introspective path.
Okay.
She could dedicate herself to finding a cure.
Right.
To reclaiming the human life that was stolen from her.
It's a tempting choice.
It is.
The allure of normalcy.
Right.
Of shedding the monstrous aspects of her being.
But is it even possible?
Yeah.
And at what cost?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is a cure even feasible?
Right.
And would she be willing to sacrifice her newfound power, her connection to this hidden world, for a chance at a normal life?
I don't know.
But there's a third option.
Okay.
One that's perhaps the most intriguing.
Lay it on me.
Okay.
What's this third path?
Imagine this.
Listening.
Mia rejects both the role of the tyrant and the pursuit of a cure.
Okay.
Instead, she forges a new path entirely.
Okay.
One that embraces both her human and vampire nature.
So she's not choosing sides.
No.
She's transcending the old categories, becoming something entirely new.
Precisely.
She could become a bridge between the human and vampire worlds.
Ooh.
A force for understanding and perhaps even peace.
Now that's a twist I didn't see coming.
Me neither.
It's not about conquest or redemption.
Right.
It's about creating a new paradigm.
Right.
One where coexistence is possible.
That's amazing.
I know.
And that's the power of this story. It challenges us to look beyond the traditional narratives of good versus evil.
Yeah.
Monster versus human.
Right.
It asks us to consider the complexities of identity, the fluidity of power, and the potential for change. Even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds.
It's a story that lingers long after the final page is turned.
It really does.
Leaving us with more questions than answers.
I know.
And that, I think, is a testament to its brilliance.
It is a brilliant story.
Absolutely.
It's a story that invites us to continue the conversation, to speculate on the possibilities, and to imagine a world where the lines between reality and fantasy are blurred.
Blurred lines again.
Blurred lines.
I love it.
Where monsters and heroes can coexist.
Right.
And where the power to shape our own destinies lies within each of us.
That's a powerful message to end on.
It is.
So for our listeners out there, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
We would.
What path do you think Mia will choose?
I know.
And what does her story teach us about the nature of power?
Right.
Identity. And the choices we make when faced with the unknown.
I know. We're dying to hear your thoughts.
Share your insights in the comments below.
Yes, please do.
And don't forget to rate.
Yes.
Solo. And share the show.
Absolutely.
We've got more mind-bending tales coming your way. Stories that will challenge your perceptions. Ignite your imaginations.
That's what we do.
And leave you craving more.
Until next time.
Yes.
Keep exploring the boundaries of what's possible.
Absolutely.
And remember, on Robots vs. Vampires.
Yes.
The line between fact and fiction is always up for debate.
Always.